Hello, everybody. We're going to be starting soon. Just waiting for other people to catch up, sending some invites to people who are our guests. Oh, Phoenix Finance is already here. Great.
Greetings. How are you?
Pretty good. What about you, my friend?
Very well. Thank you for having us here. It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it's great to have you guys. We also have we also have our co-guest who is Alpha Consulting ETH, who is the founder of Thunder Token. He has a quite a story behind it. We're gonna be talking with him as well. Let's wait for other people to catch up. We'll probably start in 2 to 3 minutes. Thanks for coming here. Let's have some discussion. So I'd like to mention that the questions that we're gonna ask here are not pre-packaged and they're not shared with the guests beforehand to keep the conversation organic. So I hope you enjoy it.
Hey, thanks for having us here, man. I'm really excited for this. I
Are
hope
you ready?
everybody's.
Are you ready for my burning questions?
I am, and I want people to understand that, like, what you just said is nothing to be taken lightly. Like, this is a real AMA. It's not like a lot of the spaces that you jump into on Twitter where there's a lot of people just blowing smoke up each other's asses. And maybe they're paying each other, maybe they're not. I'm not here to say, but like, it's nice to be in spaces that are honest. Those are the kind of spaces that I put a lot of effort into running. And it's great to be in one with you, for real.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Well, we are trying to keep the spaces exclusively free, other than the products or promotions that we do. So we're trying to give a shot to everybody from big projects like Phenix, as yourself. Phenix Finance is a fairly big project. You guys are also, but we are even had guests that have like 500 followings as well that were just starting in Chronos. So Spaces is this sort of a safe place where everybody get their shots and present themselves, and the listeners of the Spaces are to judge rather than us. We're just here to present objective questions for other people to listen and make their own judgments. I think it's something to be tried for.
Yeah, I just think it's hard for listeners to differentiate, especially if they're new, between those two kind of spaces that we were talking about.
I think over time it's gonna get more clear, right? Over time, people are going to start to see the patterns and distinction from pure shilling to a forum that to be informed rather than be sold.
That's it right there.
Totally agree with you, man. Totally agree.
Yeah, Phoenix. We're gonna be starting with you in a minute. I'm just getting ready. I'm just getting my questions ready.
No problem. We are not in a hurry, so just take your time.
Okay, that's great.
So, what is this hot take chili pepper underneath your pinned tweet? How'd you do that?
I am not really sure. Maybe we we are in this. We're fairly a big account, and
Right.
maybe when one of our tweet gets popular, maybe Twitter randomly assigns it. I'm not really sure. I need to ask our community manager. I'm just the host, man.
No, they keep throwing out like little features. Like they gave us some new features in the spaces and then took it away like 2 days later. So they're just like beta testing stuff on us.
Yeah, probably they may be doing, A/B test, like distributing different abilities to different accounts and see how they respond. That's how I think it's like you have 300 million beta testers for free. Like you wouldn't waste that opportunity, right? As Twitter.
No, 100%. I was just scrolling the Chronicle page. I noticed that the article is out about how to build a good NFT project. I'm gonna have to give that a read.
Hey guys, how's it going? I just wanted to check in and see if my mic's working and everything. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
Yep,
we can
yep,
hear you
we're
perfectly.
hearing you. Welcome, Gar.
Awesome. Glad to be here. Sorry about missing out yesterday. I'm at a music festival right now, so I kind of had to go and find a quiet space for right now.
That's got to be hard.
Oh, it's all right. It's a bunch of friends, so it's not really too bad.
Okay, so we are slowly starting. So we're going to be going with Phenix Finance first. It's going to be fairly straightforward. It'll probably take 20 minutes. As I said before, none of these questions are pre-packaged. Phenix Finance, we wrote an article about them just recently. After you have listened to this Spaces event, you can get more details on that article if you'd like to check it out. So, okay, Phoenix Finance, can you hear me? Are you here? Before we
Yes, I'm
start?
here. I can hear you.
Okay, great. So, could you start informing us in this subject that when the idea of Phoenix Finance, like when was the conception of the idea of Phoenix Finance, and how long did it take to from conception to launch? Can you tell us about that a bit?
Yeah, no problem. So basically, we launched on 22nd of March. So we've been out for 4 months. I think yes, exactly 4 months now. And the idea came from the fact that we wanted to make a difference. And our core team, we have Jake, who is a main developer. We have Hanky and Akira. They're all doxed, by the way. Jake is even publicly doxed. So they all had previous experience in crypto projects. And then they decided to launch something that is unique. And why did they decide for this project? Why did they decide for Phoenix? Because they wanted to create the entire ecosystem on the Chrono chain. So if you heard of Titano fork, if you heard of Titano as a project, in general, Titano is a rebase protocol that offers a high APY. And what we did basically, we forked their contract, we made some upgrades, we made some changes, and we launched that contract on the Chrono chain. And why did we decide to launch on the Chrono chain? Because we thought it would be very beneficial for us, especially in the long term. Why? Because Chronos, as we all know, it's still a baby. It's very young, and our, let's say, mission is to basically expand along with the Chronos chain. But I think the idea behind our project was not only to offer a high yield, high annual yield percentage, but also something more than that. And in our case, we want to create the entire ecosystem around our token. And that's exactly what we are doing. So we offer a high yield that is at this moment 66,666, and it can never be lower than that. So this is very interesting. It is fixed, but it can only be slightly higher than that. It can never be lower than that. And besides that, we are offering a wide range of different utilities, such as NFT staking, and also our NFTs have multiple utilities. So I don't know how much you're familiar with our NFT collection, but for example, in our community, so we have a alpha. Want to say something?
Oh,
Go on,
yeah.
Alpha.
Because when I go to the
Yeah.
app, it says that I'm actually making like 6,780 something percent.
Yeah, that's because
I think
our
it's on.
rebases. Yeah, perfect. That is a perfect projection. Is actually, so our rebases depend on the number of transactions that are happening, and this is something that our lead developer Jake basically invented. He invented his own, let's say, system. It is called RX3 system, and this system is based on the number of transactions that are happening. So we don't have like fixed periods when rebases are happening. So if you take a look at the other rebase protocols, most of them have like every 30 minutes or every, I don't know, 50 minutes, the rebase happens. But in Phoenix Finance, it depends on the number of transactions that are happening. So if we have more transactions, if we have more buys, even sells, that basically results in slightly higher APY. And that's why right now you can see the APY that is higher than 66,666. It can never be lower than that, but it can be only higher than that. So that's pretty cool. And that's something that differs us from other Titano forks and from other rebase protocols in general.
Okay.
So
May I ask a question?
sorry?
May I ask a question?
Yes.
Question is,
Yes.
so just holding your tokens in your wallet, you are eligible to earn tokens, and you are getting those tokens each 30 minutes to 45 minutes, right?
Exactly. You don't have to do anything. You just buy your tokens, you hold them in your wallet, and you are getting your rebates. But the thing is
But
that
isn't it costly? Like, do you airdrop those tokens, or you have something unique in your smart contract that you can?
we have something unique in our smart contract. Exactly. So as we are a rebase protocol, we have so-called elastic supply, and our elastic supply is basically defined in our smart contract, and we have something that is called Phoenix Vesting Vault. And in Phoenix Vesting Vault, there is basically the total supply that can possibly be. Right now, in this moment, we have circulating supply, and this supply does not equal to the total supply. As rebases are happening, more and more supply is in circulation, logically, and we are also conducting to regulate basically the inflation rate. And you said it correctly. So basically, we have defined that in our smart contract, and that's something that is being done automatically. You just hold your tokens in your wallet, and you are getting your rebates. So, for example, if you buy Phoenix right now, you can check from time to time, and you will see the amount of your tokens increase all the time. And
Okay, so
yeah.
Go on. Sorry, go on.
No, nothing. I just wanted to say that, for example, let's say that you today you buy $1,000 worth of Phoenix, and with this current APY, that would mean that in a year from now you would have 666 times more tokens than you have today. So this is the basically idea behind it.
Before you go, I'd like to ask something. So, for people to understand, with the uniqueness of your smart contract and with the property of elastic supply, you can directly affect the people's tokens that are in their wallets, right? But you're affecting their tokens in like forward. You are just adding more tokens into their wallets. Can you do the reverse, or can you just withdraw tokens from other people's wallets by your elastic supply?
So what we can do, the only thing that we can do that basically our smart contracts allows us to do is buybacks and burns, and we can increase the locking period. So right now we cannot touch funds from the Phoenix Vesting Vault until 2024. So we literally cannot do anything with that. It's locked. And the only thing that we can do, we can only increase that locking period. We cannot decrease it. And we can conduct burns, buybacks and burns, basically. And in that way, we are controlling the supply. As we are rebase token, of course, that there is dilution happening along the way. And to control that dilution and inflation that is happening, we are conducting regular burns to maintain the healthy inflation rate. And this is the way how we basically can influence the total supply and circulating supply. But we cannot do anything more than that. So we cannot just decide to pull out all the tokens from the vesting vault. It's impossible because it's literally locked in the smart contract. So until 2024, we can only increase that locking period.
So it is complicated, and I've done my research, and I do my best to try and educate the community on the Phoenix project, especially when they ask about it. And one of the ways that we've been trying to help people visualize the way that this works is, and tell me if I'm wrong here, but your percentage of the circulating supply doesn't change, right? So like at the inflation of the total circulating supply is proportional to your inflation of tokens as a holder, right?
Yes, it's proportional. You said it right. But of course, that I mean, you have circulating supply, you have total supply, and as more rebases are basically being added to the circulating supply, of course, that the circulating supply is increasing. It's a logical thing. But the thing is that we are conducting burns for this reason. As you can see, so far we have burned more than $72 million worth of Phenix. But this refers to the total supply. So this does not refer to the circulating supply. We are conducting burns that refer to the total supply.
But I guess
we have that ability. So.
But I guess in your taxing system, let's say in buying fees, you have 30% of tax from when someone buys your tokens, and 5% goes to liquidity reserve, and 8% goes to PVR. And when that tax happens, some of those tokens, I guess it's 8%, goes to PVV, where tokens are being taken out from the circulation that can only be burned. Is that correct?
That's correct. So on each transaction that happens, either buy or sell, let's for example take buy fee. So you have 13% buy fee. We wanna buy Phenix, you pay 13% buy fee. 5% goes to Phenix liquidity reserve, and Phenix liquidity reserve is part of the Phenix vesting vault. And what basically that provides, it provides for a better price floor and for a more stable price. And also that money can be used basically for burning. It can go to the burn wallet. So that's something that we are deciding on. And 8% of the transaction goes to the Phenix fund reserve. And Phenix fund reserve is basically acting as a treasury. So this is our treasury. It's used for all the activities from marketing to development and stuff like that. So 5% goes to liquidity reserve, 8% goes to the fund reserve. And yes, as I said, so liquidity reserve is a part of Phenix vesting vault. And that's something that it cannot be touched unless we want to burn tokens. That's the only thing that we can do. We can burn tokens and we can increase the locking period. We don't have other power over that, basically.
So you have liquidity reserve and PVR. So are the treasury, Phenix fund reserve, and PVV in different wallets? Like, are those in different addresses of?
We actually use the same wallet. Why? Because of the thing that if we had several wallets, we would have more gas fees, and we purposely decided to go with this idea to have only one wallet. It's like one wallet, but it's inside the wallet there are different, let's say, sections. Let's call it like that.
But your PVV is locked for 2 years, as far as I know.
Exactly, it's locked until April 2024.
So you don't even have reached your fund reserve as well.
No, fund reserve is something else. So our fund reserve is treasury. So fund reserve equals treasury. We can use money from treasury, of course, but we have a so-called transparency page on our dashboard. So if you open our website right now, you'll be able to see our transparency page. It is basically a multi-sig wallet. And that multi-sig wallet is showing all the transactions that are happening within the treasury. So every transaction that happens has to be approved by the core team members. If it's not approved, it will not happen. And by every transaction, next to every transaction, there is a description. Why is the transaction happening? For example, marketing, development, and stuff like that. This is the treasury. We can control treasury because we have to use it to finance the project, basically. But Phenix vesting vault that contains total supply and that contains all the liquidity pool tokens, it cannot be touched. We don't have any power over that. We can only conduct burns to basically control the healthy inflation rate, and that's all. We don't have any other power over that.
So
I got a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Do you have, or do you plan to implement any other contraction mechanisms like within the protocol, or just strictly buybacks and burns?
As of now, we're happy with buybacks and burns. Of course, that if we will think that something else will be necessary in the future, we'll consider it. But for that, you will need to check that with our main developer, Jake. He's a genius in this field. I'm not a techie guy, But we are always, what I can tell you for sure, that we are always considering new ideas, always coming up with new stuff, and always listening to our community. So it can be possible.
Totally, yeah. Like I'm a huge elastic coin kind of guy, and contraction is always very important.
Yeah, I agree on that, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, so to make the concept clear that you, Phoenix liquidity reserve, and your treasury are in the PVV. They're in the same wallet, but they're in the different sections. Is that true?
Yes, let's call it like that. Yes, different
Mm.
sections.
Okay.
Why we decided for the same wallet, like I said, because we didn't want to have extra gas fees. I mean, other projects, some of the other projects, they have separate wallets for that. But if you ask us, it's not necessary. That's why why we decided to go with one wallet solution.
Okay, so we covered your products that you already built in the article that are pretty clear. I'd like to ask you the things that you're going to be building in the future, because those informations are not that disclosed in your website and your white paper yet. The ones that are disclosed are in the article, guys. You should check that out. The ones that I would like to talk
I
about.
pinned it up top for you, bud.
Yeah, go on, please. You call this like Phoenix Vault, like you're planning to improve the DeFi experience of projects and the people who are gonna utilize those projects, and you have like couple of lists that you mentioned, a couple of products that can you go on with those a bit, like for example, what is customizable token vesting that you guys are planning to build in upcoming days?
Yeah, so basically, first, kind of first, just emphasize that we have our KYC service. That's something that we are putting a lot of focus on right now, as this is basically part of our. This is something that we will pitch to other projects. So we are pitching KYC service, and we are also offering multi-sig as a service, aside to everything that we have. And as you said, yeah. So basically, we want to improve the whole system. Let's say that the idea behind it is that everything has to be transparent. So we have, as we are a rebase protocol, we have elastic supply, and as rebases are happening, basically more supply is being released in circulation, and that's something that we already have that system, but we basically want to improve it in the future, and we want to make the whole system more approachable, more accessible to average Joe. Let's say for people who are not into crypto, who are not like DeFi experts, but want to become part of DeFi, and that's something that is our mission in the long term, and we put the most focus on transparency. So this is our main goal. Everything is transparent in our project. Every transaction is visible in our project. You can see literally whether the transaction was approved or not, what was the meaning of the transaction. Everything. You can also track wallets of our team members, so everything is visible, and that's something that we want to emphasize, because it's very important, and that's why we are offering KYC service at this moment, as well as multi-sig as a service. Both of those services refer to security and safety for investors, and that's something that we basically want to accomplish in the long term.
So
Yeah, so
I see like there's a product that you'd like to build in the future, that one-click customizable token creation. Like, does that mean that a person is going to be able to use your application UI and just click to a button and determine the name of the token, and boom, you have a new token on the Chronos? Is that what you mean there?
yeah, it will. Yeah, but on that, yes, regarding that, I would need to contact our main developer Jake, because he's an expert in this field. And for this regard, we don't have much information yet, as it's something that is still in progress. We have other projects right now, but yes, it will definitely be possible in the future. We are already working on that, as well as we'll be engaging in metaverse, for example, in the long term, and we'll be launching our decentralized exchange in next year. But these are the things that are still not, let's say, main priorities right now. Right now, we are working on one very, very special element of our ecosystem, and it's called mystery boxes. And this is something that's going to be very huge. The final work is being basically the whole process is being finalized. We're doing the final work, and mystery boxes will basically offer NFTs holders to open free mystery box every 7 days for each NFT that you hold. So that's something pretty cool. So if you have, for example, 5 NFTs, you'll be able to open 5 mystery boxes each 7 days completely for free. And in those mystery boxes, you'll be able to receive different rewards. And this is a very, very big update, let's say upgrade to our ecosystem. And it takes time, but it's going to be something very, very, very big.
Like, what would be the rewards of those mystery boxes? Like, are you gonna distribute tokens to them or other NFTs? Like, can you give like a little clues to us? You don't have to lay out.
Yeah, we still haven't released information on that, but what I can tell you right now is that so you'll be able to open that mystery box. You'll be able to, let's say, buy it normally. If you don't have NFT, you'll be able to buy it. But if you have an NFT, you'll be able to buy it. Let's say, open it for free. What will be inside, we still don't know. It's going to be a mystery, but we will be revealing that very soon. So this is something that is pretty big and it takes time. But once it basically comes, it's going to be huge for our ecosystem, and we are very happy, excited about that.
Yeah, okay. Just to be clear and for people to understand what the product KYC means for them, Phenix Finance actually launched their KYC product that projects can apply, and they're going to be validated by the Phenix Finance. Then, if their identities are not going to be disclosed, but if something bad goes with what they do, like if they infringe some legal rights of the token holders of projects investors, then their identities are going to be released. So you are going to be able to get both sides of the best of both. I don't remember. So you're going to be able to trust the project, and if something
exactly
are going to have to disclose and infringe their safety, but something bad goes for the project, also the investors are going to be covered.
You couldn't have said that better. Honestly, you really said it right. So what we are going to be offering basically, but I would just like to emphasize one fact. The fact that the project used our KYC does not mean necessarily that a project will not work. So we cannot, unfortunately, we cannot influence project owners' decisions and their actions. That's something that is out of our reach. But what it certainly does, it certainly lowers the potential risk of a rug pull. So
one layer of coverage. It's not the entire coverage, but at least they will know that their identities are going to be released if they do something wrong. So it's one layer of protection, not an entire protection as an insurance company or a SEC covering for you. But if you it slightly makes it more secure to invest in if you have some doubts in your mind and you have done your risk management, proper risk management on the subject.
It certainly adds an extra layer of security. That's for sure, and it lowers the potential risk of a rug pull. But unfortunately, it does not guarantee that a project will not pull the rug. So it cannot guarantee that, and that's why we'll not take any responsibility if anything malicious happens. But what we will do, what is the purpose of KYC in the first place, is that if anything malicious happens within the project that used our KYC, we will be reporting that to authorities, and the authorities will take care of the rest. And they will make sure that those guys get legally prosecuted for what they've done. This is the purpose of KYC. But if everything is right, if they're playing by the rules, all the personal data will remain hidden. Only we will be able to see them, basically. But if anything malicious happens, those information will be released.
How much does the KYC service cost? May I ask?
Yes. Right now it costs $1,000. But we will also be offering KYC Lite. It's like a cheaper version of KYC. It's I think $700. But in general, yes, $1,000.
You should offer them in Phenix tokens too. You know, in Prime.
Yes. As of now, projects are able to pay in USDC, but they can also pay in Phoenix. And in future, we will basically maybe only be accepting Phoenix payments, but we will see that. We have to consider that.
By the way, how do you make sure that the information is being shared to you is the right information? Like, do you have any access to identifying and validating those projects' founders?
Yes.
How's that?
So, for example, I personally did KYC process just to be able to see how does the whole thing work. And there are two parts. First part is a Google form where you have to put your basic info, where do you live, your name, things like that. This is the first part. Once you finish that, you move on to the second part that you can find on our website, and there you have to provide all your personal data, such as your photo. You have to upload your identity card. You have to upload your proof of address and stuff like that. So it's very confidential. And once you upload that, you basically agree that Phoenix Finance has access to those information. And you agree that if anything malicious happens, if you do any malicious activity, that those information will be released. And that's something. That's why it's adds an extra layer of security, because project owners have to pass through all those steps, and basically it's not you cannot cheat the system. You cannot cheat the system because we will know about that, because we are checking manually all of those information. So you cannot fake it, basically.
Okay, I'd like to come to your another upcoming product that is like Phoenix Payroll. Can you talk about it a bit?
Yeah, I can say a few words on that. It is something that is still not our priority right now, but I can say general info on that. And this is something that's gonna be pretty revolutionary. Just to emphasize, it's gonna be multi-chain, completely multi-chain, and it will be completely decentralized. And it will basically allow project owners to use, let's say, the world of DeFi in order to manage their payroll. And that's something that I've personally never seen before. And how it will work, basically, it will provide project and business owners with so-called interface that will track their balances, and that will manage automated crypto payments to their employees. So everything is going to be automated, and it's going to be fully decentralized. So there won't be excuses for the project owners. So when there is a payday, there is a payday. Everything is going to be automated and decentralized, and that's why it's going to be pretty revolutionary once it comes.
Oh, we also need to touch base on your Lotto system. How do your Lotto system work? Phoenix Lotto pool.
Oh, very interesting question. I have waited for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lottery system is something. I don't know how familiar you guys are with the lottery system in general in crypto. Have you heard of that concept before in crypto, or?
Yeah, well, I know how lossless Lotto works. That you actually the previous concept, that the ones that doesn't have APYs as your token, that you invest, let's say 1,000 Kronos to Lotto pool, then let's say 100,000 Kro has been pulled into a wallet, a contract. Then that contract is being invested into a liquidity pool, and it is farming that liquidity pool for 7 days. And from the rewards that comes from that liquidity pool comes back to the Lotto system, and there will be 10 winners, let's say, from that Lotto, and the rewards would be distributed to the winners, and the people who just invested their money gets their money back, making it lossless Lotto system, because the money that is rewarding the people who won the Lotto is coming from the pooled money's liquidity mining. So how does yours how do yours differ from that?
Exactly. You basically said it right. So the main idea behind it is that you put your tokens in the pool. You can choose whatever amount of tokens you want to put in. You don't have to put all of your tokens. You can put just a portion of your tokens in the pool, for example, and leave other portion outside the pool. Once you're in the pool, you're, let's say, giving up on your rebases. So you're not getting your rebases that you would normally be getting if you weren't in the pool. But when you're in the pool, you are eligible to win the weekly reward. And weekly reward consists of all the rebases in the pool that are basically being summed up. And
Oh, you muted everybody.
Did I?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my bad.
No,
yeah. So I was
no
muted.
hard feelings.
Yeah. I didn't get it.
Yeah, Gar did it. No problem. Gar.
Where did I
My bad.
stop? At which point?
Well, you were saying your weekly rewards were being pulled, then everyone got muted.
Exactly. So once you're in the pool, you're not receiving your rebases, as you stated before. You're not getting your rebases, and all those rebases from all the participants are being summed up and then used as a reward to 10 lucky winners. That's but the main idea is that you don't pay anything. Okay, you're not getting your rebases, but you decide to leave the pool. You still have the same amount of tokens that you put in the pool, plus the portion that you got from total reward, the portion that went to all the participants in the pool evenly. So even if you don't win, you still get a portion of tokens. So that's why it's pretty cool. It's completely lossless. You don't have to pay anything for that. And if you win, you can still win the next time. So because it's based on a real life lottery.
Oh, so it reoccurs again and again and again.
Yeah. So if you don't decide to manually leave the pool, you will automatically stay in the pool for the next week and for the next week and so on.
Well, it's lots.
Sorry. One more thing to add. I forgot to say that, and it's very important actually. If you're an NFT holder, you actually have increased chances of winning the prize in the lottery system. This was the very first utility for NFT holders. So for each NFT that you're holding, you get 1% multiplier within the pool. So let's say that you have, I don't know, 10 NFTs, you have 1.1 multiplier with winning the prize.
So multiplier as in, like, let's say there are 20 people in the pool, or let's say like there are 100. Like, I want to make this multiplier thing digestible for people to, like, in real numbers. Let's say there are 100 people in the pool, right?
Yeah.
So only one person have 10 NFTs. And when there are like 100 people in the pool, you are choosing 10 people, like 10 people gets rewarded from all of 100 people's investment, right? So if one, so you fairly have 10%. No, what? No.
Yeah, you said it right. So if you're holding, let's say you're holding 10 NFTs and the total amount of NFTs in the pool is 100. So you have 10%. Your share is 10%, basically.
No way. Oh.
And let's imagine now that you have a NFT multiplier that you're sorry, I said it right. Yes, I said it wrong. Let's imagine that you have 1,000 tokens in the pool, Phenix tokens. And let's say that you're holding 100 Phenix tokens. So that means that you have 10% of the total pool, right? 10% is your share. And let's say that you hold 10 NFTs. So you get multiplier. You multiply your 10% by 1.1 because you have 10% multiplier from NFTs. Yeah. So this is how it works basically.
So you get to 11% from 10%.
Yes. You have more chances of winning the pool, of winning the prize. Yes, exactly.
Okay. So we talked about PVV. We talked about taxes. We talked about how your project's elastic tokens work. Did we miss something that you would like to tell us about?
No, actually, maybe just the fact that we also have our referral system. So if you wanna refer other people, you can do that, and they get reduced taxes while buying if they use referral. So and we also will be launching different utilities in the future as well for NFT holders.
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely urge people to check Phoenix Finance's application because it has a very clear UX. I actually liked it. You can use lottery. Um, you can go check their disclosed treasury spendings there as well. You can use lottery. Like just have a like quick look where how can you use the applications. It's a pretty slick and simple UX design, and you also can find the how referral system works there as well.
Yeah, thank you very much.
It was a pleasure to talking to you. Actually, I tried to ask the questions that are not that conventional. You actually pulled through. Like it was very clear of you that you. It was enjoyable. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It was a pleasure.
So Alpha. Okay, we're done with the Phoenix Finance AMA now. We are going with Alpha here. Hey, you there?
Hey yo, yep, I'm here.
Okay, so it's gonna be hard because you don't have that much information in your website, so you need to be hinting us a bit about your project for me to ask you some challenging questions. So hint
I'm
us
here. I'm an open book, man. Yeah. There's not a
okay,
lot written down. There's not a lot to find
so
on
start
Web
with
2.
how many NFTs, how did your project start, how many NFTs have you launched, and go to your what your token is. Just start with the start, then talk about NFTs, then your tokens.
Sure. The first NFT project was actually on Ethereum, and that was very small. We did 42 OG tokens and
Before you go
9
on,
banners.
I'd like to mention something. For those you who don't know Alpha, he is someone who is very persistent and consistent. He um, hosts a Twitter Spaces event every weekday, and he has an live audience of 70 people each day, and he never stops hosting those weekday spaces. He never misses for the past 8 months. So make sure to check that out. He's someone who is really consistent, has been consistent with Chronos, and that's why we are having him here. Yeah, go on, man.
No, thanks, bro. Yeah, the NFT project was born out of the community that we started through the spaces, and the community that was here on Chronos when it launched, well, when the beta launched, and that are still here today, most of them. So the Ethereum project, that was back in uh, early April, and then our Chronos project dropped on LootPad on 420 on April 20th at 420 or around there. We tried our best, but UTC is really difficult, man. UTC was a problem just telling people when this space was starting today. So I'm still on the campaign. It's EST or nothing. Gang, holla at your boy. But 420 Crow was the price. We minted out about 2 weeks ago. So it took a solid 2 months. Actually, we minted out like a month ago, maybe. Who knows about the time? The main
Yeah, it's
point.
funny that you have this pretty hands-off, relaxed version. Like you're not really even a founder. You're a community guy rather than a project manager, as far as I see.
Yeah, I mean, on paper, I'm a project manager, right? But everybody involved in our project is doing exactly what they used to do before they joined the project, right? Everybody just knows their role and they're just doing it. I don't really have to tell people what to do in the Thunder project. And same with the collaborations. Like all of the projects that we collaborate with are friends of ours from the jungle who, have grown into their own powerhouses. And that's the real utility of what we do every day, is the network that we've built. And the NFT is really just a symbol of that. And we reward people for showing that they hold it, you know?
Yeah, as far as I can see, like um, I'd like to compare you with Phoenix Finance just to, draw a distinction. Like Phoenix Finance is trying to build like professional products. They're after building a DeFi system. They're taking the stance of a business, but rather what you're doing is you're trying to build a network of people who inform each other and understand each other, and you know um, uh, do what necessary you think it is, and if it aligns with what we're doing, we're just gonna include you to our project or community or network. Is that a good distinction with you and the Phoenix Finance?
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely an interesting perspective. You know, I'm always looking for similarities. So, I appreciate that.
What are
But
those? Yeah, can you okay? Tell us about what are these similarities with all
oh,
Chronos
I was
projects.
hearing so many when Phoenix was speaking, especially about the tokenomics, because Thunder is a token as well, right? And we are trading exclusively at this point on HopSwap and Crodex. We used to be on, we were on 5 dexes at one point, but we're really trying to branch out to other chains now, and keep the liquidity kind of centered here on Chronos. But the similarities that I was hearing were about rebasing. You know, we started Thunder as a reflection token,
Hmm.
and
So do you
again,
have
we had
that
to
as
be
well?
adaptable. We had to be able to adapt to what the community wanted, to things that worked and didn't work.
Hmm. Do
So
you have taxes as well as a reflection token?
the reflection wasn't the most appealing part of the token, so we actually scratched that part of it, and all of
Hmm.
our tax goes straight into the liquidity. So we have an 8% tax, and it's all goes into the LP token, because that's what we've been focusing on recently as a community, is teaching people how to be liquidity providers.
Okay, so you call your community as Jungle. Tell us about a bit what Jungle really is. Yeah, you're hosting an event every weekday. Like there are a lot of people that are joining it, but what is the vision and mission of Jungle rather
Oh,
than?
I am so glad you asked, because my buddy Kazan is down there, and we started the jungle together back in November when we were just babies on this chain, and we had come in as chimps, and we met up with the lions. The lions were running 24-hour spaces, and just like, they were in beast mode, you know? But none of them knew about Chronos. They all bought lions with credit cards, and they didn't know anything about DeFi. So it took us a little while, but we built a really solid connection between the chimps and the lions, and that's what the jungle was all about. And that's where we started teaching each other things. You know, the chimps taught the lions DeFi. The lions taught the chimps how to flip on CDC, which was good for a little while. And we taught them how to not let CDC be your daddy, and that's why Chronos is such a beast now. We brought the lions over here.
Oh, so the people who doesn't know much about blockchain that just bought into Kronos with their credit cards, you're just providing them some sort of a soft landing as also a theme of your spaces go as well. Like you screw around a bit, like you're conducting it as a radio program, like chilling and mixing information in the chilling, that teaching people without them realizing they're learning something.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do radio back in my younger days, so I tried to bring a little piece of that into it, a little bit of music, and definitely vibe control, right? No dead air, no trolls, but besides that, have a good time, make the listeners feel comfortable enough to hit the mic button. You know, that's a goal for sure, because we do a lot of messing around, but we give solid information and we let people ask questions from beginners to advanced. You know, we can handle the whole gamut.
Okay, about the token, do you have any plans for token? Like, what
Oh,
would you,
buddy, do we have plans for the token?
yeah, go on.
No, we have huge plans, and
Are you allowed to
that's another
share them?
similarity with Phenix, right? We have a huge token supply, and that's representative of our big plans. So our circulating supply is only about 300 million, and we've burned 4 point something million in the steakhouse, which has only been going on for a couple of weeks now, and it's only picked up recently. And if you haven't heard about the Chronos Steakhouse, you better find out, because they just dropped an NFT project, and we minted that thing out in like 48 hours. So now, just like the jungle, it's a community thing. The steakhouse is a community thing. We're controlling what token gets grilled next, what we do with the profit funds. And one of the things that the steakhouse has been committed to ever since they incorporated the Thunder Grill is putting their profits, or a percentage of the profits of the platform, into Thunder buybacks. And then the Thunder goes to the DAO. So we're doing all types of cool things, man, that are going to reduce token supply, increase wallets, and hopefully increase positive price action. But we have a very long-term vision for Thunder. That's why we kicked the reflection, we upped the liquidity fees, and we tried to make it so that it could be a token that beginners could start with. They could literally put like $5 into Thunder, put it in the steakhouse, and really start to see how the mechanics of baked beans forks, automated market makers, just like the whole thing, like see how the sausage gets made.
Hmm. So it's an onboarding token, which also aligns with your spaces. Like
Well, yeah,
by
because the space is about onboarding. You know, the space is about incentivizing the community to be the onboarders and to be the content creators. You know, to make the videos, to take the screenshots, to get the information out, because there are literally 30,000 daily users in DeFi, period. You know, this is way beyond just the 5% of the globe holds crypto statistics. We're talking like nobody knows about DeFi. So we're on a mission. The token is part of it, the NFTs is part of it, but the spaces is the biggest part. And that's why I'm so consistent with it. Like I can't stop.
yeah, that onboarding is really important, because if there is not a ramp for people to get in and understand the basics, there is no other way projects to grow. Because like if a person does not know the distinction between buying an NFT with a credit card and a Crow token in a decentralized marketplace, they're not going to be able to utilize many other applications that are being Chronos chain. Because building a great product in this new age of attention economy does not mean that much if other people does not see it, does not hang out in the places that can use those products. So the people who work on onboarding people and get them through the basics are doing literally the God's work of blockchain.
I like how you say it.
Now, how can you use that into your token model? Is my future challenge for you too.
I mean, we
Oh,
love a challenge.
it's kind of. Do you have any plans to set out a system to like, stimulate onboarding people into Chronos with some sort of design? Have you ever think about that type of thing?
Well, yes, and it's hard to lay out the entirety of the big picture in these spaces.
Yeah, of
Um,
course.
what we're really trying to do, and I know a lot of people feel like it's a dirty word, but we're trying to centralize what we're doing here on Chronos, and we're trying to build the jungle into a umbrella that's big enough to fit all of the solid projects and platforms, and especially centralizing that content, the onboarding content and the daily information that people need so that they can find it in one place, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a good decentralization is not being solely done in the purpose of doing the decentralization. There always have to be a form of centralization because we need some order for things to function. But the goal is decentralizing everything to the point that it can be decentralized in its most efficient form. That's why governments are actually failing right now, that they're spending $2 billion for a work that a startup company can do for 50. And that startup company is actually a centralized entity because there are 8 to 10 to 15 people are working for the same project, and they are also regulated by the that company's rules and goals and visions. But when you decentralize to the point that decentralization gets to its most efficient form, that's the goal. Because centralization at that point of centralization is unavoidable and it is necessary. It's actually a better form of centralization than we have right now. So yeah, I actually support you on that premise. And actually, we need to teach people why decentralization exists and what does that mean. Because a lot of things people are using are actually centralized things. For example, MetaMask is a centralized application because there are 10 million users of MetaMask, and 95% of those users does not know that MetaMask can change something before they are aware, so they can actually, from that update, they can exploit, but they choose not to because the keeping their integrity worth more than doing that thing. And they prove themselves to be very beneficial to the entire space, that we can use MetaMask on Chronos, Ethereum, Avalanche, not Solana maybe. But yeah, a form of centralization is needed. So we have a request to come up. It's cold. Let's invite that guy. Yeah, Alpha, can you talk a bit about your plans in centralization, and can you share your opinions of what I've said?
Yeah, the audio is starting to go out a little bit, but the what we've been doing is opening up clear lines of communication with all of the project leads, and this is uh behind the scenes. This is on top of the communication that we try and keep on a daily basis in the spaces, because that's the best part about the jungle and coffee and crow for the listeners, is that they get all of the project leads and devs and community leaders on Chronos in the same place, and they work out their differences in there. They squash beefs, they clear up misinformations. So the centralization is really just a Web 2 portal. It's a centralized Web 2 portal to what we're doing here. And I don't want to put too much of it out there, because one of the things that tends to happen that we actually love about the jungle is that we come up with a lot of ideas, and a lot of the time, 2 or 3 days later, you'll see someone trying to execute it faster. So it's fine for everybody to know that this is the goal, because if we're all pushing for it, then we're all winning. But I just don't want to put too much of the actual final product out there yet.
So you're waiting for ideas to ripe before you make your killer execution. Yeah.
I'm waiting for everyone to commit to being on board before we release that kind of information.
What kind of time frames do you have in your mind? Like, as in a projection of the future. Like, how long would you think that Chronos would get into a mass that a lot of people?
We're definitely hitting 1 million wallets before our anniversary in November, right? Because we're at like 930,000 right now, and I think crossing that million mark probably here in August, if not September, is a big turning point for the chain. And in terms of timelines, we've been building a lot of our upcoming projects around that timeline. So like the Jungle Book is one part of our upcoming NFT project, which is one centralized aspect of what we're doing. This is the Chronos Yearbook project, and that's going to be coming out on the anniversary, which is November 8th of this year. And that's going to be really cool, man, because the whole history of our first year is going to be documented and put into an NFT that everybody can hold.
As markets are starting to pick up some price action upwards, like, do you see, as someone who is hosting and on-ramping spaces, do you see new people are coming in ever? Or is it just regurgitating of people who were there before? Do you have any new names as new users?
No, we have new people every single day, and we also have a pretty solid rotating cast of characters that are there daily as speakers, you know. But just as a general sentiment, it feels a lot these days like it did in November and December, where there's kind of a building excitement. There's a lot more onboarding talk, and yeah, there's a lot more new people around.
I have this slight feedback that could you put a link to your token in a decentralized exchange in your website? It's really hard for someone who is lazy to find your token.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we should really shout out HopSwap for making it easy for people, because now at hopswap.finance you can find Thunder right in the pull down menu, and that's what people really want. That's what we really wanted from the start, and we had even paid a couple of dexes to do it, and it never happened. So it's really great when you find those solid partnerships that are mutually beneficial, you know, and symbiotic. And we definitely found that with HopSwap. We will put a link on the website. We haven't even added HopSwap to our list of partners on the website. All of this has been happening in the past week. So
yeah, you definitely need a link to your swap, like
to the swap, to the steakhouse, all of that needs to be on the website. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you. That is duly noted.
What is your current token's market cap?
Let me pull all that stuff up. I don't want to mess it up.
Okay. What chart website is, like, how can we see the chart of the Thunder token? Which website? Like HopSwap, we can exchange and swap it?
Yeah, I like to use Dex Screener.
The screen just shows it, right?
Yeah.
And okay.
Yep, and we just had a massive red candle. So Not financial advice, but I would buy it. I would buy it while it's down.
Yeah. No, we're not giving out financial advice. It's true. It's true. All of these for information purposes.
I'm glad I looked.
Did
Here's
you?
the data for you. The fully diluted value, right? So the market cap is 88 million, and that's all tokens. So the circulating supply would be more around 1.2 million.
Oh, like almost all of the tokens are locked then.
Right, like 90%.
More than
The
90.
same thing is basically in Phenix Finance. So most of the supply is locked. I mean, this is the idea behind the big
I was
protocol.
focused on those similarities because it seems like we're both focused on the long-term vision of the token, which should be, I don't know. Like if I was a consumer, that's what I would be looking for, because pump and dumps just scare the shit out of me.
Yeah, man, you have a lot of your tokens are locked as well as Phenix Finance. Well, okay, so guys, we have just passed the 1 hour mark by 7 minutes. Alpha, do you have anything in your mind that you'd like to mention that we may have missed?
I think we hit almost everything except the sneakers. So sneakers are a big part of what we do. The ETH token holders, we're making sure that they all receive a pair of sneakers. The Chronos token holders that were able to cash in for banners are entitled to a lifetime of those benefits. And we have a lot more stuff like that coming. So
sneakers, as in, can you explain what sneaker is a bit?
Yeah, when I say sneakers, I'm not talking about like Asics and Skechers. I'm talking about like limited edition Jordans and
Are you talking about physical sneakers?
Yeah, we're talking about Phygital. So you hold the NFT and you get things you can put on your feet that'll make people, break their necks when you walk down the street.
Okay, so like are there be any artwork on those sneakers?
Some of them. Yeah, we have custom Air Force Ones that we call Thunder Force Ones. You can see them on our Instagram. We've been on Instagram for 14 years. So the Island Thunder brand has been around for a long time, and this is just our entrance into Web3. And this was my way of taking my real life and mixing it with my new life.
Like your Thunder brand that you're breaching it into NFT, as in, like, what was your brand about before Web3?
NFTs? Same kind of thing. Reggae. We're a sound system. We're a reggae sound system, Island Thunder. So we would throw big parties. We're going to continue to throw big parties.
So you were already in entertainment industry anyway.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Any other thing you would like to mention?
No, I was going to call on Cole.
Oh, okay.
Cole down here.
Hello.
Hello.
I was just going to pretty much say, as a consumer, sometimes websites and Discords and Twitter posts and also Twitter feeds can be quite confusing to onboarders or new onboarders, because as we develop in the crypto space, we tend to use our own jargon a hell of a lot because it becomes a natural thing. And I think we need to take steps back to then keep it simple for onboarders.
I agree. That's what we tried to do with Phenix Finance on previous AMA, that we tried to break down what PVV is, what PVR is, PVR actually treasury, how those are distinct from the same wallet but by the same sections, and so on. Like, that's actually what these AMAs are about, and that's why they are free, because we need those information out in the ecosystem for people to be educated, for them to start utilizing those applications and spend money and earn money and exchange tokens and invest in it, but they need to be understanding what's going on first in the first place. That was a good feedback.
I mean, to make it really simple, if you look at a lot of projects that are creating tokens, and that their tokens are very good and they're pretty successful, the first thing you want to look for is the token ID or the token address. But generally, they're quite hidden amongst the website, and that's probably not a deliberate thing. It's just it gets forgotten about, or these projects are expecting it to be on CoinMarketCap or or CoinGecko. Go and search on there to check or verify. And I think if it was a poignant thing, almost like the first page you hit, this is the token ID. It's not a scam. Look at it. Go follow it.
Yeah, but the crypto industry requires a bit of sophistication at least in this level, because it's not that quite mainstream yet, where for example, Phenix Finance is trying to build a DeFi that can be used for other people as well. Yeah, like we are getting there. Maybe it's relatively slow process, but yeah, we're not mainstream yet. Like MetaMask is not that convenient to use for most
100%.
people.
Totally
But
agree.
I remember Phenix when it first came out, and there was at least, the minute it was dropping, there was about 6 or 7 people creating Phenix copies, and it becomes a minefield, because also the muggles do succumb to these scams. And that's the downside. And that's what we need to change with onboarding new people. Because if we safeguard new people, we're protecting them in the future, because they'll learn basic facts. Job done. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I think
Absolutely, absolutely. That's going to be the future here, and we always have to keep pushing the education and standardization across terms too.
that's why the point of alpha is also good, because urging someone to just spend $5 in an alpha token and learning how to use MetaMask. What did I do? Oh, I need to add Chronos chain into MetaMask other than Ethereum. It's not default there. What does that mean, Chronos chain, Ethereum? Like, there are a lot of steps for people to learn just by spending $1 to $2, and ramping them to that process is a mystery to be solved. Like, we're going to be improving, we're going to get better on informing people and urging them and telling them why is this going to be the future.
Exactly. For example, if you're on a Binance, you just click buy or sell, and your transaction is basically done. But when you're in DeFi, you have to go through all of those steps, and sometimes it might be a bit overwhelming for someone who is not, a crypto guy, and that's why we're trying to achieve this accessibility to average people in the future. I think personally it's going to be possible, but it will take time, definitely.
Yes, it will be. That's also the reason why we need to stick together rather than putting down other people. Just align our values. We all want crypto to be succeeded. We all want to be more sovereign than we are in the current global structure of the politics. We want more open economical and we want more open and financial system that the equanimity and we want it to be more egalitarian. We want less information asymmetry. We want everybody have a chance to make something out of themselves, and it can be achieved through crypto and the new financial system it is going to bring. Okay, I don't want to take any more of your time. We already had a very intense and productive AMA here from Alpha and Phenix Finance. These AMAs are going to be we're gonna be having these AMAs on the next week as well. Each weekends we are doing AMAs at 1 p.m. You can, if you have a project or if you know someone that has a project, you can send a DM. It's completely free. It's only the only thing that can be a little challenging is we're not telling you what questions we're going to be asking. We're trying to keep it as organic as possible for people who are listening, and for you to be fully prepared and bring a product that you fully believe in. Okay, so thanks everybody for joining us. We're going to be seeing you at a later date, specifically on Saturday, 1 p.m. CST. Goodbye.
Have a good one, everyone.